a bit low on this.
Hold on.
It's low.
You okay?
It's a bit low.
Do you want this one?
Yeah.
Wanna try this one? Switch.
Thanks.
No problem. Check if that's alright.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better.
Alright then. Hello everybody. Gary, can we come to you first?
All sitting comfortably?
Yeah.
We'll begin.
I'm good.
So now concentrating
Yeah.
on the cup. Sunderland, I think it's been a while since you played them.
Yeah. I can't remember when, but a while ago.
Due
Since
diligence been done, you know all about them?
I have so much respect for that football club and that region when you consider the quality of players they've produced over the years. And I told the players that earlier. It's a really rich football heritage and a team and a history who I respect.
It's a female manager. I know you're speaking this week about the lack of female
Yeah.
managers. Could you just repeat your thoughts about what should be done about that?
I think I've made most of them clear in my words this week, but it would be great to see her. It's been a while, so I look forward to that. And as always, I think we have to keep coming up with creative ways to make sure we've got the right number of female candidates coming through. I'm slightly worried about that for the future, and I hope that everybody is thinking about all the things we have to do to make sure we provide them opportunities for them.
Going from one game to another, they come thick and fast, particularly obviously if you're doing well, which again you are.
Yeah.
The fact this is your last season give you extra energy, or was that not really come into it?
To be honest with you, The Force Awakens, Star Wars episode, I think 6, that gave me a lot of inspiration last night, and I'm certain that the Resistance continue to inspire and we can keep at bay that evil empire. And for now, all I'm thinking about is I need to get onto the Mandalorian.
Having said that, of course, the more you carry on winning,
Yeah.
getting onto the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
whatever that is. I'm not a Star Wars watcher, unfortunately.
And the Force is with you. I can see it in you. Don't worry. You should take it up. It's a brilliant series.
But as you keep winning, progressing in competitions, staying top of the WSL, the Wolves look after themselves, I guess. The advancing in competitions. So is the quadruple something you've dared when you're not watching Star Wars kind of think about and dream about?
No, definitely not. Most of the time I dream about just getting through the day. I don't preoccupy my mind thinking about it. Just know that we're where we want to be today, and that's all I can ask of the squad.
Because obviously two big name managers who've done so much for their clubs, both with a chance of winning everything before they leave. That would be some way for both you and Klopp to go, wouldn't it?
Again, I don't think about it. I think about we need to take care of business tomorrow against a very historic team, and I think being at home at Kingsmeadow, the fact that we got 4 games in a row there for me is something we're definitely investing all our energy into at this moment.
Can I ask you about talking about other competitions, about the Champions League draw?
Yeah.
I guess the 3 favourites have managed to avoid each other, but Ajax, what do you think of them and the potential of progressing?
Really, really good team. I think I watched them. We played them in a pre-season game, I think last year. I was impressed with them then. A great young group coming through. Thoroughly deserve to be where they are. I think it's as tough a game as we could possibly expect for a quarter-final. But it is at this stage, and it's important for us going away from home in the first leg that we need to use all of our experience, because I think Ajax have proven against top teams already they really deserve to be where they are.
And if you can progress, and of course that's not a given, it'll be maybe Barcelona, probably Barcelona in the semi-final. Revenge?
Would never ever be disrespectful to Ajax. If you obviously, no, I don't know this for sure, but I'd say you've never seen them play. They're an excellent team, and my focus is on making sure the team is prepared for that away leg.
If you had to choose, and you're going to say I don't have to choose, so I'm not going to answer that question, but I'm going to try anyway. If you had to choose between another WSL title and the Champions League, given that you've never won it, which one would you choose?
Who would you choose interviewing, me or Maurizio Pochettino? Like, you can't choose between your favourite children, can you? So I think it would be wrong to pick one over another. And I won't tell Poch this because I just had a cup of tea with him. But, of course, I'm delighted you would rather sit here and pick me on this moment in time, but I'm not picking one title over another.
How is he, by the way? Because he was in
Super.
form with us.
Yeah, really good form. Always like to catch up with him and his staff, and had a nice cup of coffee and a nice catch up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Any more for the room? Connor?
How's the cold?
Can you tell? Still there, still, I've got to be honest, it's still lingering.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good. Any team updates? Everybody come through Everton okay?
Yes. Everybody's come through. I have to name a squad. I have to leave one or two out, but mainly just because I can only pick 20 for tomorrow, but not for any other injuries. So I'll go back and name a squad of 20 now.
You spoke quite often about complacency in
Yeah.
recent fixtures. Real Madrid probably being the last one. It's not usually something that Chelsea are guilty of doing, being complacent.
Yeah.
But how do you ensure that they give due respect to a lower league opposition, a team that's going well, doing well, especially given the tight turnaround?
I think it always starts with me, and I respect everyone, and I always present almost the preparation identically. They don't pick between opponents. You get exactly the same no matter who we play, and that level of prep both on and off the pitch for me is a habit that we've all developed in my time here, and everybody who plays in our dressing room knows that respecting the opponent is making sure you're best possibly prepared, and I think that's the case going into the game tomorrow. Everybody's ready for it, even though we've only had one day training.
Up to this point, your so-called squad players have done well when sort of asked to step up. Guessing there's going to be some tinkering given the amount of games you've got coming up in a short space of time. What are you looking to see from those players given an opportunity?
I think, as I said it many times, make your minutes count and keep delivering the performances no matter whether you're getting regular minutes or not. Yes, there'll be some changes throughout this week, but I value the whole squad and I trust everybody no matter who gets that opportunity to perform. And like I said, I think we're in a really good place as a team and we're performing really well as a whole. Cheers.
Thanks, Connor. Joe, next, please.
Hi Emma, good to see you. I know how much you love being asked about who might take over from you once you leave the club.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know. At least once the press conference. Izzy Christensen said this week she thought Frank Lampard would be a good fit. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, how could I have an opinion about who's going to replace me? Like, there's only one of me, and I think that whomever it is, whoever the club decide to pick, is for the qualities they have in their own right, whether it's whomever that is. I have yet to get involved in the debate around who my successor should be, and I'm telling you truthfully that I don't want anything to do with it because I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think it's about what the club needs, and whomever they identify, I'll give them the keys when the time is appropriate and support them, whomever they are, no matter, whatever names are thrown forward, to be honest.
Thank you very much. I'll ask you again next week.
Thanks. Maybe even at the weekend. Why don't you get it in early?
Charlotte, next, please.
Hi Emma.
Hi, Charlotte.
Sunday that we spoke. But I just want to zoom out from Chelsea a bit, following on Joe's question. You know, like Frank Lampard has been mentioned as a men's coach, and I appreciate you can't generalise for every women's team or player.
Yeah.
But from your experience, can you talk about how women's teams want and need to be managed?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the more I manage them every day, Charlotte, the less I know, if I'm being frank with you. However, I think it is critical to have women in leadership around the team, because there's lots of different things that we might empathise with or understand or be able to articulate in a way just by virtue of being a woman that I think's critical. But most importantly for me, it's about having knowledge around women and all of those things. And there's no point having like a single person that, I don't know, is knowledgeable about something like differences in the game to the menstrual cycle. It's actually got to be a cultural thing. And I'm big on like developing lots of people inside any staff. So as far as I'm concerned, somewhere like Chelsea, I think the knowledge around women will be there regardless of whomever's in place, because it's there at the medical level, it's at performance, it's at analysis. And I think it's critical, as I always say, that whoever's working in a women's team, you must always fundamentally ask that question. Women are not small men. So are we doing what we do because it's always been done that way? Or are we doing it because they did it on the men's side like that? We have to constantly challenge the notion around those things, and something I think is starting to happen in the women's game beyond Chelsea, but maybe the expertise isn't quite there across the board for it to maybe have an impact in the most, massive way. But I think we've certainly made steps in that direction in the last couple of years across the game.
You spoke about culture there. Do you think women's teams should be managed differently to men's teams? And I know, again, it's generalisation and you haven't managed men's teams, but, should coaches coming into these women's environments be aware of these specific things?
Well, I think I should probably zoom out even from that and say every person needs managing differently. I think I'd manage you differently to the way I'd manage Joe Curry, for example, but you're both women. I'm sure of it.
An experiment.
But I say that genuinely. Like, do I think I'd need to know more about your personality profiles? One, how you react to stress, how you react in a crisis, to be able to get the best out of you. I think getting the best out of human beings is about understanding that fundamentally every human is different. So I know sometimes we talk about men and women. I've got many males on my staff that can be a lot easier to manage than some of the women, and vice versa. So I think it's always a gendered conversation, as opposed to, I think you need good emotional intelligence and good communication skills to be a good manager. And for me, they are as important as your tactical and technical whatever application.
Last one from me. You spoke about knowledge, in terms of coaching courses and 21 women in England having a pro licence. I think you mentioned this in your audio book as well, but do you think those nuances should be part of coaching courses?
Yeah.
Especially like geared towards women's teams and the different?
Yeah, I think so. I think, and I can only speak from my experience of going through coach education. I always found it like just token gestures to, small things in the women's game without really understanding the implications and application of how you might manage women differently in certain situations, for example. But I think equally, the same could be said of the men's game, how to manage human beings and around the trials and tribulations they have to deal with still requires delicate management. But I think sometimes we almost think it just applies to women and not men. But when it comes to coaching courses, there definitely has to be a levelling up of, and I think probably more work done on managing human beings, not managing the business, not managing how to put the ball in the back of the net, how to manage human beings and the differences between human beings. I think there absolutely has to be a bigger intention around those things.
Thanks, Emma. Really appreciate your time and thought in today's.
Thanks,
Bye,
Charlotte. Phil, next, please.
Oh.
Hi, Emma. I was just going to ask about Katerina Svikova.
Yeah.
Obviously, went out on loan again. Went back to Slavia Prague on loan yesterday. A little bit of your thoughts on the decision that's been made there, and is it still sort of very much the case that she has a Chelsea future?
First of all, you know, Katerina was due to go out on loan in September, but her meniscus knee injury was still causing some problems. So she's had to spend a lot of this time from then to now rehabbing and getting herself into the best place possible. An injury has hampered her time at Chelsea, I think it's fair to say. Going out on loan, while there might have been some other options, I think knowing that she's going to Slavia Prague, she can go and build her fitness back and play on a regular basis, gives her the best possible chance for her future. I think with regards to her future beyond this season, I think you'll have to ask the next manager.
Okay, cheers.
Thanks.
Unless there's any more from the room, we'll leave it there.
Do you watch Star Wars?
Yeah.
The eyes of a football manager. Like that Death Star should never have left that hatchet. It was terrible defending.
I think the messages throughout Star Wars, now I'm watching it as an adult, are so essential in life, about the power of love and the dangers of hate, and teaching a 5-year-old why it's important not to give in to hate. When we have our lightsaber moments, and I'm pretty good on the lightsaber, I'm always Darth Vader, which slightly annoys me, but I constantly remind him of the importance of like community and looking after your people, much like the Resistance did. And as he always says to me, the Republic will remain intact as long as we defeat, you know, the evil empire. So, yes, essence of the message, always have skilled finishers like the Jedi Knights, have the ability to deliver a fatal hit into the Death Star. I know without doubt, you know, we wouldn't be anywhere without like Luke Skywalker. So all my thanks are there for him and the entire Jedi Knights.
Surely you are the evil empire.
No, you know what hate's just like, it's a horrible emotion. Like, hang on to that. Like, it's negative. I'm a positive person. Yeah. Thanks.
What a one to end on. Thank you very much.
Force be with you.
Thank you.
Not Star Wars people are all of it.
I know, yeah.
Don't get it.